Oh my God. YouTube's off. Facebook too. Oh my word. Hello guys, this is your girl Angel and I'm back at it again. What's up? What's good? How are you doing? Today, guys, I am jumping on and talking to you guys about social media. Why social media, you would ask? Everybody logs onto social media. The new norm has become that every time you go to a restaurant, people are looking down instead of facing each other. Um, when you go on a date, instead of relating with a person, people are now on their phones as opposed to talking to the person that they're with on the date. When you go to corporate offices, most times you would find that even the interviewer is on their phone looking down instead of looking at the person that they are interviewing. So the new norm has become that instead of looking at the people right through, like their eyes, looking at their eyes, we're now looking down instead of up. I remember when I lived in New York City, every person, when you go to the city, it's a busy city and everybody is on the move. It's always busy. And the thing that I noticed was that every single person was on their phone. Like, it's either somebody was taking a picture, or they were taking a picture of the food that they were eating, or they were just doing something on their phone. Not many people were focused in the moment to actually enjoy that the thing that they were doing. Not many people were really enjoying that. Well, they might be enjoying it, but I feel like people have found an escape through social media as opposed to having real conversations with real people. And so to, today, I I went on my YouTube and I found out that the system wasn't working and I was not able to log on to my YouTube. I didn't go into panic mode, but like there was a sense of what has happened. Does this mean that every content that I have shared has disappeared? Does this mean this and that and that? Like so many things came to my mind. Then I checked Facebook, and Facebook was also having the same technical issues. And so I went to a platform where I have people that are like minded, and I found a message from somebody asking, is everybody having the same problem as me? I tried to log on to my YouTube and I was not able to get onto it. And so everybody was reaching out and there was a back and forth messaging, and everybody said, yes, we are having the same problem, including myself. And it just shows how we have become more social related to social media than the major important things in life. We are missing out on enjoying a cookie without having to take a picture of it. I understand that there are people that do ads on cookies or cakes or any type of food, and they have to take the pictures of the food. There's different ways that they use their social media to market their products, and so it might also be different in another aspect as well. However, when we make social media to become our life, it's almost like we are escaping the reality. Like in that moment of not having connection to Facebook and having connection to YouTube, I just realized how much we are locked on our phones. They call it a cell phone for a reason. We are closed in a cell. It's a cell in a phone. And so as a human being, you are holding your phone this way. At this point, you are locked up in your own phone. You have a cell phone. In short, you are in a cell that is a phone. And so when you look at your phone, you're locked up. You're glued to everything that is happening, such that so many people are affected by the impact of social media. So I'm gonna go ahead and list down the good that social media has done um, for people, and I'm gonna also go ahead and say some of the bad things that social media has done for people. But I'm not saying that we should completely do away with social media. I believe that it has done some good. I believe that a lot of people have benefited from it, but I feel like there should be a balance in a person's life. You need to have a moment in your life where you have time to yourself, you have time with your family, you have time with your loved ones, where you just drop the phone and you just focus on those people. Because sometimes I feel like we miss out on those very moments because we are so glued and fixated to, oh, I need to post a picture on my Instagram. Can you take a picture of me? I need to go on Twitter. Oh, I need to keep up with TikTok and things like that. And so we miss out on those good moments, like your baby walking, or the first word that your child says when they begin to speak, or your child just learned how to braid their hair, or first, just different moments. There's so many things that happen that people have missed out on because of social media. So I wrote them down just so I can relay these to you guys. So the good that social media has done. So it has enabled people to have media network, which is pretty good, because if we did not have social media, I would not be on this platform speaking to you as I am right now. So thank God for social media, because now I can relay messages to you and speak to you guys about the good of social media. So that's one of the good things that it has done, and I am thrilled that I can share my insights on what I know, on what I have learned to other people. And yeah, and the next one was news after distribution. So when we have news, I feel like the news goes on the media, and people get to hear the information um, you know quicker, and it's like the most I won't say, like, yeah, it's the quickest way you could get information relayed to people, as opposed to watching Fox TV or CNN or BBC. People would rather go on social media and they will see the news on there, as opposed to actually sitting down or and watching those platforms, such as the ones that I have mentioned. Traffic message delivery. So for somebody who would drive like an Uber or a Lyft, people have apps where they communicate to say, oh, if you're going this route, please don't use this route because there is traffic in this route. If you want to get to your destination earlier, it would be better for you to use this other route. So it helps with traffic message delivery, which is a good thing. That means, if there are people that need to be in a place, or like a bride is having a wedding, um, a mother is about to have a baby, and if they go in a different route, they might take long, and the mother might have the child in the car. But like if they use a different route, it would help have the baby in a hospital, in a safe place, in a safe environment. Not to say that the car isn't safe, but like for just hygiene purposes, and for the doctors to be able to make sure that the mother and the baby are okay, it's better for it to happen in a hospital. So increased teen awareness. So by increased teen awareness, I would say, like, there are more teenagers that are aware, they're informed, sexual abuse, and things that are related to them. It might be bad, but I'm saying the good side of it. They might learn from social media, they get aware, they get informed, and they might even be better people because of social media. It could be the opposite of it, but some of them actually get good insights from social media, which is an amazing platform for some of them. Also, increased marketing exposure. So it is also a good a source for marketers to market their products. I sell my own merchandise. I sell earrings and I sell shoes. So a lot of people reach out to me on social media to request, what size and what they know, like addresses, information, and things like that, in order for me to mail those things to them. Then I use that platform to sell my earrings and to sell my shoes to them, which is a great way for me to have a source of income. So I love social media for that reason. And also, it helps understand technological needs. So, like in companies or um, you know, phones, for example, if you want to know what the latest phone is, like, there will be information about like iPhone 10, whatever phones, whatever Note something, whatever comes out, they will put them on the platform and people are able to, understand more on those things that they're going to buy, as opposed to just, going to a store like T-Mobile, for example. I just go to T-Mobile and I'm like, oh, I just want to buy a phone without really being aware what that phone's qualities and the good things that are in about that phone. But like on social media, they put out all that information, and you find that you read that stuff and the good in a phone or an iPad or a laptop. And before you buy it, you actually know what you are actually buying. So, because the information is already out there, so that's a good thing, because you don't want to buy anything that you don't know how it works. And then it also helps with global natural disaster relief and support. So I remember when there was, I think it was a tsunami here. There were floods at some point in the USA. At some point, I don't remember exactly what had happened. I think it was no, it USA. I think it was Haiti, where there was like this flood and like a lot of people were dying. Yeah, there were rains here actually in the USA, and then it flooded. I think there was a tornado, and then it rained, and then a lot of people, lost their homes and everything. And so people were hanging on to things, like they were on top of their homes. And so because of social media, people took pictures of themselves, and as a result, the paramedics were able to get to them on time. And so because of social media, those people's lives were saved. Imagine if there was no social media and those people were hanging onto a tree, hanging onto a house, and hanging onto anything that they were hanging onto, and there was no social media. We would have more people dead than alive today. So social media has done good by, you know, you know, allowing people to be able to take pictures freely. And when they take those pictures, they are noticed, and then the paramedics can see that, okay, this picture was taken, let's say, in such and such a place, and immediately they can go to that place to help people that need the help. The next thing is spreads information faster than any other media, which is true, because people are tired of watching things like CNN or BBC or Fox News or any other media that is out there. But I think people find it much more easier, and it's much relatable for them to go on social media and get the news from there. It might be good, it might be bad, but the information is spread out quickly. You find that if you say something happened to, let's say, like the news that we had of the basketballer that he died in a plane crash, and together with his daughter, and you know that went out really quickly. Everybody knew about it. In a blink of an eye, everybody was aware that he had passed away and his daughter has had passed away. So it's also a platform that helps people to know, even people that were not aware of this basketballer were aware of him because the information was relayed on social media. Some people are not really fans of basketball, but because of that incident, they got to learn more about this person and realize how good of a basketball player that he was. And it helps the law enforcement to catch criminals. So let's say somebody is acting really weird, and the cops have been having a hard time to find this person, but because of social media they are able to catch a criminal because of social media, and that is really appreciated, you know because you don't want a criminal running around the streets or roaming around the streets when there are innocent people out there, because a lot of people's lives can be jeopardized because of the criminal being on the streets. So if the law enforcement are able to catch a criminal, it is an amazing attribute for us to have social media. So now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys the the bad effects of social media, because I have told you the good effects of social media. So social media enables the spread of unreliable and false information. As good as it may be that it relays messages to people quicker than any other platform, it might also be a bad thing, because you might spread out information that is forceful. You find that even if something did not happen, because somebody posted it, people will believe it because it's on social media, and so it might be forceful, which is not good. So that's not a good thing either. Social media lacks privacy and exposes users to the government and corporate institution, which is true. Even though you would have a Facebook, and even if you put all the private settings that you can, no matter how much you try to hide yourself, they already know your information. No matter how much you try to protect your identity, they still know your information, because these platforms sell your information to these corporate companies for their own benefit. That's why you find that sometimes you receive an crazy, because let's say you were looking at underwear online on a specific website. You find that you didn't put any information out there of yourself, you just looked it up online. You find that you receive a call or an email from an underwear company that you were looking up, which is weird. Like, you didn't send them an email, you didn't say you subscribed to anything that was related to that underwear, but you receive notifications, emails, and it's just surprising. Sometimes you even receive mails. How do they know where your address is if they have not sold your information? Who is writing to you? How do they know this is where you live? They know, because they have sold your information. So no matter how much you say, I'm protected, yes, this, that, they already know. So it's really not a good thing, because you don't really have entitlement to your own life, because really, if somebody else has sold your information to somebody, it's you have no protection, really. It's like, yes, we have the police, we have this, but like, it can be bad. In other words, it's like, I'm protected, I'm unprotected, you know what I mean? It's like you're naked. Your nakedness is exposed to the government. They know, because these platforms sell your information to them. So whatever it is that you've put on social media, it's out there already. So if you are posting information that's not real, bad, that's not good, just know that it's already out there. Whatever you've posted, good or bad, everything is out there. So for those reasons, social media is bad. Social media leads to stress. A lot of people become stressed. Why? Because they are trying to keep up with unrealistic people. There's a difference when a celebrity posts a picture of themselves looking all glammed up and beautiful. The truth of the matter is, 200% of the time means they do not look like that every day. For them to sell whatever it is that they are selling, it's a brand. Just like I have a brand, my brand is Malika. I am selling me. So whatever I do out there, I need to make sure that it is good, it is positive, because I am selling my brand. So whatever it takes, I have to do. No, I mean, as long as it's in a positive context, I'll do it to sell my brand. And so, as a celebrity who is out there and they are selling themselves and they are selling their brand, they will do anything so that the outside of it looks good. You look at those magazines and they look so skinny and everything is perfect. That's not real. The thing is, you need to realize that those people have access to finances that you do not have. They have access to having a personal trainer. They have access to having somebody, a nutritional planner. And so they have food that they are eating that is right, nutrition wise, and they know how much water they're supposed to be drinking because they have all the right people helping them to be where they are. And so when you look at them, it's like, oh, I look at this celebrity, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that. It's unrealistic, because those people are just selling their brand. When they sell their brand and they are in their homes, they don't look like the way we see them on social media, or how we see them when we watch music awards. They don't look anything like that. Yes, they are beautiful. Yes, they are amazing people. They are handsome men, but they don't look anything like that when they are in their homes. They're probably wearing sweatpants or sweatshirts and just being real people. But you need to be realistic as a person, because 200% of the time, everything you see on social media might not be true. People are just out there selling their brand because they want to sell their brand. Everybody is out there trying to make it. And so if somebody is trying to make it, obviously they're not going to come out and make sure that their brand looks bad. They need to make sure that their brand is the best. And so when you go on social media and it's stressing you, I need to remind you that you need not to be stressed, because most of the times nobody is gonna go on social media and post how miserable they are. Most times when people go on social media, they will go all glammed up, looking good, and they will put their makeup on, and honey, they will find the best position and take those pictures. It's so easy. Anybody can take pictures. You can just go outside, and if there's good lighting, you take the picture, and when you post it, honey, it can blow up. You know what I mean? And so that should not stress you, because most of the times those things are not real. Some people are just selling their brand. You need to know that people are selling their brand. You don't need to be stressed. It is not necessary for you to be stressed. Most of the things that you see online are not real. They are not real. Most people that show the cars that they have, they probably are not even their cars. You can rent a car and take a picture with it. Nobody will know that it's a rented car. You have a car and you have not even finished paying your car note. It doesn't even belong to you. Or you'll be showing how you have the best phone. Have you even finished paying your phone bill or paying for that phone? Does it even belong to you? You know what I mean? Things like that. Or flashy house. Everybody is looking. Oh my God, this person is doing good. They have a house. How do you know? Are they even done paying their mortgage and you are stressing in your house, saying, oh my God, I've worked so hard in my life and yet I'm not like so and so. Stop comparing yourself to other people. That is the reason why people become stressed. It's because of the things that they see. If you know that social media is a platform that gives you stress and anxiety, it is better for you to avoid it. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Do things that will please you. Go out in the woods. Take a walk outside. If you have a dog, walk your dog. If you have some kind of animals, Play with your animals. If you have children, spend more time with your children. If you have family around you, enjoy the time with your family. Be around them. Do not focus on the things that you don't even know if they are real. In my dialect, it's not really my dialect, but it's a dialect in my country. We say inganda baikumbo mtenge. That means a house is admired from the rooftop. You don't know what's inside the house. Just because the roof of the house looks glamorous and beautiful, it does not mean that everything inside that house is perfect. Anybody who has money or whatever, they can build a house and everybody will be like, oh my God, I want to be like so and so. You don't know if they are done paying their bills. When these celebrities die, most times is when we know their little hidden skeletons. So you need not to put yourself under stress and pressure that is unrealistic, because most times those things might not even belong to them. They are probably renting them. Some people own the things, yes, but some people also don't own the things. They just like to post pictures on social media and be unrealistic. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't stress yourself. Just know that some of the things that you see, they are not real. They don't even belong to those people. Some of the things, some people own it, like I said, and some people don't own it. The next thing is social media is a good waste of time. Yes, because sometimes you find that even if you have assignments to do, like school assignments, or if you have things to do, like business wise, you find that instead of doing what you are supposed to do, you find yourself wasting time perusing on people's pictures, going on people's walls, and commenting on these things. And so you're browsing, wasting your time, going on Instagram, searching for the best person, how the person trained and they have a six pack, and you start admiring how lavish and lovely their life is. You are there envying and wasting your time. Wow, as you do that, as you watch them, you watching them is the reason that they are having money. Instead of coming up with an idea, or something that has been a dream to you, instead of putting your heart and time into that thing so that it can grow and manifest, you're out there wasting time. And so social media can be the best waste of time. The next thing will be social media facilitates cyberbullying. Yes, a lot of people are bullied on social media, and you know, uh, through that cyberbullying, not everybody has a strong personality. Not everybody is strong. I always say that we as human beings come from different backgrounds. I come from a different background. Another person comes from a different background. I might have a cousin, I might have an uncle, and even if we are in one room, we may behave differently because every single person grew up in a different home, and they have different behaviors and character. And so every person is different, and just because another person is strong and they can handle, if somebody tells them, you know what, you have such a big nose, and they keep saying how big that nose is, some people can't handle it. It leads to a part of depression in their lives, to the point that they become suicidal. And so social media can be very negative in that aspect, that it might cause people to kill themselves. And it has caused people to kill themselves because of the things that people saw on social media. The young people out there, youth, teens, that saw certain body types on social media, or that one boy or that one girl that told a young person, their age in school and say, "You're so ugly," or "You just wear the same clothes," or this and that and that and that. And that led to a very negative place where they felt like they were worthless, and they ended up killing themselves, which is not a good thing. And so social media has the goods and has the bad sides to it, you know. And there is no protective measures that are put out there, like, that are 200% helpful for, like, teens and young people. And you can't really know if a person is young or old, because anybody can go on Facebook and open an account and pretend to be 21 even when they are 16. So there are no ways anybody can know that this person is young. Anybody can go on Instagram and open an account. Anybody can go on Twitter and open an account. Anybody can go on Snapchat and open an account. TikTok, open an account. It is that simple. And so, because it's that simple to open those platforms, you can imagine how many young people are out there, even elderly people. There are people that are older, my age, that are out there, and they are insecure about themselves, and they feel very, very bad, and they want to harm themselves. I remember when I worked in a hospital, in a psych hospital. I worked there as a housekeeper. But when I worked there, I saw how people can be mentally disturbed because it was a psych hospital. I understood what bipolar was. I understood how people can turn the switch from a good patient to it it just changes just like that. And most of those people need medication to balance themselves, and it's not good. I remember that like it was just yesterday. I remember one time I was walking with my cat in the hospital, and I was cleaning one of the rooms in the hospital. And when I walked to this room, I didn't realize that there was a patient in the restroom. And so I walked in with my cat, not knowing that the patient was there. So by the time I said, "Hello, is anybody in there?" Well, I had already walked in. The patient came out and exhibited bad behavior. The patient walked straight to me and dropped the cat. And immediately I just texted my supervisor and I was like, "Yo, you need to take me out of this, this floor. Somebody else needs to come and work here because this just happened." And my supervisor came and everything, this happened. And so I got to see firsthand what a person who has bipolar can do, or how they can react, how they can behave, how they can be triggered by just anything. And maybe me walking into that room might have been a trigger for something negative that might have happened in their lives. It's not that, yes, I walked in there with a bad intention, but anything can trigger a person with bipolar because you don't know what their experiences are. And so sometimes you might just be talking and then you just say something that reminds them of their past. Maybe they were raped, you know? Maybe they were molested, they were abused. And so maybe there are certain words that were used in that context of abuse, of rape. And when you say the word, the first thing that comes to their minds is trigger. And when it triggers, people just go crazy. And it's not their fault. People go through things, and not everybody knows how to handle those things. And that's why people have to go, uh, you know, to the hospital. That's why they need checkups. That's why depression is real. And that's why it's good for people to talk about it and have a platform where they can relate, because a lot of people have issues that need healing, and those issues have not been taken care of. People are going through so many struggles, you know. And because of those reasons, a lot of people go through like cyberbullying. So you need to be very careful. Even when you write things, when you post things, yes, it is your social media and you have the right to share whatever you want, but you need to be very careful what you share out there. Be mindful of the other person next to you. Be mindful of your neighbor. Be mindful, because cyberbullying is real and people go through so many things because of cyberbullying. So you need to just be careful. Just because you are a strong independent person and you can stand up for yourself, and even if people say, oh, you have such, like with me, I had gone through a phase when I was in high school and people would say, oh my god, you have such big boobs, or your nose is big. Look, when I was growing up, where I come from, when people tell you you have a big nose, let me tell you something. Where I come from in my country, someone says you have a big nose, you also tell them, okay, thank you, I have a nose. So you have eyes. Whatever you see on their body, you tell them they also have it. If they say something bad about you, you also tell them the same thing, so that or if they tell you, oh, you have this, you just tell them, yes, because beautiful people have beautiful noses like my own. Or if they say you have big large breasts, just say yes. That's why beautiful African women have big boobs. That's why I have them. So if it's affecting you, I'm sorry, but they are here to stay. That is how we grew up. But with the setup in, the Western world, it's a little bit different. When people say things like that to you, people get affected in a very bad way, such that it's very hard for them to stand up for themselves, because system here is different from system where I come from. Yes, cyberbullying might be there, but like a lot of people stand up for themselves, because a lot of times parents teach us, like for me, from when I was a child, like my parents, my dad, to be precise, taught me to stand up for myself. And so when somebody is saying, oh my god, you have such a big looking ass, you just tell them thank you, because beautiful people have big asses like my own. You know what I mean? And so with me, the response would be positive. Like if they say something bad about it, like I'd always immediately say, look, the reason why I have this is because I'm gorgeous. The reason why I have this is because I'm a queen, because that's how I was raised. So like I said earlier on, people are different and people relate to different issues differently. So my case might be different. Other African children's cases might be different. What about those that are poor and they don't really know how to stand up for themselves? So it's really different. Everybody's upbringing is different. My upbringing is different too. So that is what I wanted to say about cyberbullying. And so I had a little research that I picked up. It says NHS data shows 68% rise in hospital admissions because of self-harm among girls under 17 in the past decade. Why? Because of social media. And then 67% of women feel better about themselves after receiving a large amount of likes. Women feel good when they post a picture, let's say on Instagram or Facebook, and they get a huge amount of likes. It makes them feel so, some women, like confident, like, oh, okay, I still got it. You know what I mean? But like, it shouldn't just be about the likes. You need to feel good about yourself, even if somebody doesn't like your picture. You need to walk out there, even if you don't take a picture, walk like the queen that you are. Yes, girl, you are a queen. Wherever you are, I don't know where you are or whatever you are going through, but I need to remind you, don't live on the likes on Instagram. Don't live on the likes on Facebook. Don't live on any type of likes. Live on the likes of yourself. Love yourself enough to walk outside of the house and feel like the queen that you are. You are a queen. King too. If you are out there feeling like, oh my god, I am not man enough, you need to walk out there, pull your boy pants up and walk out of that room feeling confident. And that is what I needed to tell you. You are enough. And also, 55% feel bad about themselves after going on social media. So, some people go on social media and they feel bad about themselves because of being on social media. So, um, social media can be good and it can be bad. But I feel like if you use it the right way, it might bring good to most people. Use your social media to be a blessing to somebody. Thank you.